Have you ever wondered why the most accommodating people often receive the least respect? You do everything right. You are kind, you are available, and you swallow your own discomfort to keep the peace. Yet, instead of gratitude, you are met with indifference, or worse, the creeping realization that your goodwill is being treated as an obligation rather than a gift. This is the brutal paradox of social dynamics. But what if the solution wasn't to shout louder, but to say nothing at all? Welcome to INVICTUS X. Today, we aren't just talking about confidence, we are dismantling the psychology of submission and rebuilding your presence from the ground up using ancient Stoic wisdom. If you are tired of feeling invisible in plain sight, you are in the right place. We are conditioned from childhood to believe that if we are good, compliant, agreeable, and selfless, the world will be good to us in return. This is a lie. Life does not reward the compliant. Life rewards those who respect themselves enough to communicate, without words, that they will not accept anything less. When you offer your energy without limits, you inadvertently teach the world that your resources are cheap. Think about the economic principle of scarcity. What is abundant is rarely valued. By being perpetually available and endlessly understanding, you saturate the market with your presence, driving your own value down to zero. The painful question, why do I treat everyone well but so few treat me with respect, has a simple answer. You are broadcasting an invisible signal that says, my boundaries are flexible, you can walk here. The human brain is a pattern recognition machine. It craves predictability. In social hierarchies, people subconsciously test those around them to see where the walls are. A child tests a parent, a colleague tests a peer, a partner tests a lover. If they interrupt you and you smile, the brain registers, no resistance, proceed. If they make a sarcastic joke and you laugh nervously, the brain registers, safe target, continue. If they dump extra work on you and you accept it with a sigh, the brain registers, exploitable resource, repeat. Respect is dead the moment you become predictable in your submissiveness. The Stoics understood this over 2,000 years ago. As Seneca reminded us, whoever constantly justifies every step hands over control to the opinions of others. When you rush to explain yourself, you are essentially asking for permission to exist. To command respect, you must break the pattern. You must introduce a glitch in the matrix of their expectations. This isn't about aggression, it's about the sudden, jarring absence of your usual compliance. Let's look at a concrete example to see how this plays out in reality. Consider a man named Julian. Julian was a mid-level manager known as the nicest guy in the office. If a meeting ran late, Julian stayed. If a coworker made a snide remark about his presentation, Julian would self-deprecate to diffuse the tension. He believed he was keeping the peace, but in reality, he was feeding a dynamic of disrespect. One Tuesday, a senior director named Marcus, who was notorious for bullying down, interrupted Julian mid-sentence for the third time in a meeting. The old Julian would have stopped, smiled awkwardly, and said, "Oh, sorry, Marcus, go ahead. Yours is probably more important." But Julian had been studying the principles of internal sovereignty. He decided to break the pattern. When Marcus interrupted, Julian didn't stop talking immediately. He finished his sentence, then stopped. He didn't smile, he didn't look down at his notebook. He turned his head slowly and locked eyes with Marcus. He held the gaze for 4 seconds, an eternity in social time. The room went dead silent. Marcus, expecting the usual submission, stumbled over his words. The lack of a nervous reaction from Julian created a vacuum. Julian didn't say, "You interrupted me." He didn't get angry. He simply withheld the validation Marcus was used to receiving. "As I was saying," Julian continued, his voice dropping an octave, calm and slow. In that meeting, the hierarchy shifted. Julian hadn't fought.
He had simply refused to move. This is the essence of the Stoic approach. As highlighted in Insights from GLASP regarding Marcus Aurelius, true leadership and wisdom come from inner control and the realization that we cannot control others' actions, only our reactions. By controlling his reaction, or rather, by stripping his reaction of fear, Julian reclaimed his power.
So, how do you operationalize this? How do you move from being a doormat to a fortress? Here are the 8 specific tricks or adjustments to your behavior that signal high status. 1. The firm silence. Silence is heavy. Most people are terrified of it because it feels like social rejection. When someone insults you or makes an unreasonable demand, your instinct is to fill the silence with an explanation. Don't. Let the silence hang. Look at them. Let them sit in the discomfort they created. Silence forces the other person to reflect on what they just said. It turns their own energy back on them. 2. The dry no. This is the hardest for people pleasers. Usually, a no comes wrapped in bubble wrap. I'd really love to, but I have this thing and I'm so sorry. Stop. Every excuse you give is a handle for them to grab onto and debate. Can you stay late? No, I can't. Why? Because I have other commitments. The simpler the no, the more impenetrable it is. 3. The absence of explanation. Your life choices, your diet, your career, your free time are not up for debate. When you explain, you are submitting your decisions to the jury of public opinion. Those who respect you do not demand a transcript of your reasoning. Those who demand explanations are usually looking for a way to dismantle your boundaries. 4. The shift in reaction. If you have always been the funny one who uses humor as a shield, stop. When someone disrespects you, meet them with neutrality. This contrast is shocking. It signals, I am no longer performing for your amusement. 5. The unmoving gaze. Evolutionarily, looking away is a sign of submission. It exposes the neck. It says, I am not a threat. Please don't hurt me. When you are setting a boundary, keep your eyes soft but fixed. It communicates that you are safe within yourself. As Marcus Aurelius noted, a gaze that doesn't drift reveals a mind that isn't scrambling for safety. 6. The 3-second pause. Reactive people are weak people. If you answer immediately, you are operating on instinct, often fear-based instinct. Take 3 seconds. In those 3 seconds, you move from your amygdala, fear center, to your prefrontal cortex, rational center. It shows you are thinking, not just reacting. 7. Strategic distance. You cannot negotiate respect with someone committed to misunderstanding you. If you set a boundary and they trample it, do not argue. Withdraw. Reduce their access to you. Your presence is a privilege, not a right. If they abuse the privilege, it gets revoked. 8. Consistency. Doing this once is a surprise. Doing it consistently is a personality change. Consistency convinces the primitive brains of those around you that the old version of you is dead.
Here is the warning no one gives you. When you start doing this, people will get angry. When you stop being a battery for other people's comfort, they will accuse you of changing. They will ask, "What's wrong with you?" or say, "You've become arrogant." This is the villain phase. In their narrative, you have become the villain because you are no longer playing the supporting character in their movie. The friend who used you as a free therapist will call you cold when you stop answering their 2 a.m. crises. The boss who relied on your unpaid overtime will call you uncommitted when you leave at 5 p.m. Do not internalize this. As mentioned in the GLASP Insights on Stoic Resilience, external events, like their anger, are neutral. It is your judgment that gives them weight. If you can see their anger for what it is, a toddler's tantrum because they can no longer reach the cookie jar, you remain untouched. Those who truly love you will adapt to your boundaries. Those who leave were never there for you. They were there for what they could take from you. Respect is not something you beg for. It is something you embody. It is the natural byproduct of internal sovereignty. When you stop needing the world to tell you that you are good, you become dangerous in the best possible way. You become a person of substance. Your yes means something because your no is real. The next time you feel the urge to smile when you're angry or to explain when you should be silent, remember this moment. Remember that every time you break the pattern, you are casting a vote for the person you want to become. If you found value in this, I have a challenge for you. Go down to the comments and write one simple phrase: I respect myself. Let that be your anchor today. And if you want to continue this journey of hardening your mind and elevating your standards, subscribe to INVICTUS X. We don't just watch videos here, we build habits. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. Reclaim your energy. The world will adjust.